Firstly, welcome to our business showcase interviews. My name is Ron Maycock. I'm the owner of Action Coach Castleford and Business Performance UK, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Vasili Butnaru, if I got that right. I'm hoping I did, who is co-founder and managing director of Ventilation Industrial Systems, which from here on in, it's going to be easier to call it VIS. Vasili, welcome along.
All right.
Thanks for joining us today. So we're obviously going to hear a lot more from Vasili in a few moments, but just before we do that, I just wanted to explain the purpose of these interviews. We're surrounded by some amazing businesses in Yorkshire and across the UK, but being a Yorkshireman, I'm very quick to add that Yorkshire bit in there. Each of these businesses have got their own stories to tell, and these interviews help us share their journeys, showcase some of their achievements, and ultimately maximize their exposure to the rest of the market. Now, we do this all in the name of abundance, and it's for the benefit of businesses across the UK and really increases market awareness of some of these fantastic businesses that are in existence. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Vasili. Vasili, tell me a little bit more about VIS.
Right. So VIS, it's a company made 2 years ago. It was the pandemic, and we came after a few successful projects in Germany, and we said, like, well, why do not start a company? So we started, and since then we're working without holidays.
Know that feeling. So what's the main product and service offering that you're actually doing?
Labor only. So we basically supplying the labor, well, labor only and management. We're supplying the labor, and we managing the jobs, working with our engineers together. So basically, it's like providing a labor, like an agency is providing labor only, but they're not managing those people on site. We found like a window for that, and we are a part of the managing team. So which you provide the labor, you earn the money, but you have someone who is managing that, because you know obviously what you are. Who are your engineers and who you send to those projects. And
what typically, what are these engineers? Are they mechanical engineers primarily? Yes. Or yeah, okay. So and what type of projects are you working on? Typical sort of, not necessarily specifics of the client, but what type of clients are these that you're actually working on? What would the site resemble, if you like?
Well, if to say a few names of the clients, it's Hennerbut, it's Hitachi Energy, ABB, which is a part of Hitachi, and different kind of big businesses, or SVI, which is our mainly partner. We're working together. We're supplying mainly for those guys, which is a great company. So yeah, those are
these tend to be it if I'm understanding this right, it tends to be the mechanical aspects of large scale facilities and facilities management of that mechanical aspect. It's the hard services, if you like, the engineering services that you're actually providing for those sites. They in turn could be manufacturing, large retail, industrial sites.
Yes.
Is that's pretty much?
Yeah. For instance, now we are working on sub converter station, which is located in Hull, near Beverly. Yeah. It's called Dogger Bank. SVI did secured those projects, and we are supplying the management and and labor.
Uh-huh.
So by the end of 2025, this project will be the biggest wind farm in the world. So it's an interesting project.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the title of the company, if you like, the name of the company gives away some of what you do. And we're talking about mechanical based solutions. Is it all lumped under the sort of ventilation and ducting and piping and pumps and everything associated
Well, yeah, it is. Most of that is ventilation. So duct. If we're speaking about the AHU, installing the AHU, and basically that's it.
Okay, excellent. And typically, how big are the teams that you take on site? How many people?
We had something like, the biggest team was 12 guys, 12 engineers. What we striving to achieve, less manpower and more like setting the plans to avoid have 15 guys on site. Instead of that, we're managing the time, we're managing the work, and then you have 5 to 6 or 7, which is someone is thinking you need something like 20 guys here, and then they're looking at the time scale. So basically someone is looking at, oh, they've done that project in 6 guys, how we can do that?
Yeah. So do you often go on to site and manage pre-existing teams that aren't from yours, that are actually there as facilities engineers, or is it always your own teams that you're managing?
I'm trying to have one in my own teams, but in certain cases, there is pre-existing teams, and my task is to make everyone working together, because sometimes it might appear like, well, this is not, you're working, you do the same things, but you're looking like, oh, this guy is not my team because I don't know him. So we try to interfere, we're trying to make diplomacy on site. And all of those aspects is helping to save the money, to make more money. So it's a kind of, because the company was set when we had a look, well, you have all of those subcontractors on site and they are not working together. So someone might have a great work attitude, someone doesn't care about that. So, and like, no one want to interfere in that. Even some managers don't want to do that, because I don't know, they're thinking it's not their job. So we try to avoid that. We try to highlight the problems, and we do, or the issue, and we do find a solution for it. So for instance, what we had on the other projects, we had kind of, you use another a guy which is from agency, a different agency, and he is used to work with a telehandler, and he's not interested in helping you, or is not interested to make your work. So we said, okay, right, then we have to have a driver for us within our teams, which can provide that and can find and can help, and it's multitasking. Like, you have a duct fitter who can drive a telehandler, who can drive a certain different kinds of machines, which is less money for the company pay for that, and it's much more practical.
So it becomes almost like an outsourced solution within the contracted or subcontracted agreement that you're actually doing. And what's the biggest challenges that you face as you said, you've been going for around about 2 years? What have been the biggest challenges for entering this market? As you said, you're providing something that perhaps wasn't being provided previously.
Well, it was provided, but people only intend to provide that. what we're trying to avoid, it's like trying to avoid someone use someone money and just use those to make money and doesn't care about the jobs. You have that is a challenge in the industry, and someone might don't think about that, but I foreseen that that problem, and taking action, it helped me to find the right people, the right clients, which are trusting me, which can give me a project, and he knows that if it's given to me, he'll make the money from it. So I'm doing my business. I'm receiving my money as a salary. I'm receiving my bonuses in case if it's something discussed regarding the bonuses, and he's receiving the amount of the money which he proposed to make from that project without stress. So he's living it there.
So as I say, it's somewhere between outsourced engineering labor and actual help in terms of the deliverables for that any one project.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So and how many people have you got working within VIS that are sort of retained within the organization at the moment?
At the moment, we have 12 guys. That might be expanded to 50 guys because we've done our research prior to search that, and we have different guys based in different cities of the UK. So, for instance, you have a project in London, and you call me, Vas, can you find someone in London? And I do have to trust you guys who are controlled, and they do have some exam to pass prior to work with us. So in each city, I'm trying to have a kind of relationships with the guys and to know, well, if someone has a project that he can call me, and I know for sure those guys are gonna do their works. So challenges, well, about the challenging, well, maybe sometimes you are challenging with the people. Someone is thinking you're taking their bread because concurrency. So
in terms of, especially with the construction sector and construction and engineering, heavier engineering kind of sectors, there's obviously site-based requirements, health and safety, CIS cards, all of this kind of thing. So do you manage all of that and ensure that people, anyone going on site, you carry the can, if you like, to say anyone that we introduce, we will check all the documentation?
Yeah, so basically at the minute 99% of the people which we are working with has a qualification in mechanical as a ventilation.
Yeah. They'll have the HVAC, whatever it is.
Yes.
For the right kind of thing as well. So it's a little bit like on the electrical, where it's different. You know, if people are able to work on, you know, a normal 3-phase, or if they can go up to, you know, high voltage, or if they've got various different, you know, different levels that they can work with, different transformers and things like that, I guess. So it's bigger kit. It's not just stuff that would be ventilation in a big house or something like that. This is pretty robust stuff, I guess. So what are you looking to achieve over the next couple of years? You said that growing and having a network of people that you can tap into that as a resource anywhere in the UK and or potentially overseas as well. You know, but how do you define that? Where do you want to be over the next 5 years with this business?
Next step, which we are thinking, is to have own manufacturing. And if there is a need to develop new products, try to do so. So because obviously we have what is actual now, it's the supply chain, and that it's become a problem when it's a war or wherever, or when it's a pandemic. So we're thinking to have a manufacturer based in Yorkshire, and to develop our products like valves or like grills or whatever.
So what's been the or what's the current sort of competition or business sort of engaged in that space at the moment? What does that landscape look like? Is it heavily populated? Is it each bit just seems to be a specialist within a very small area? No one's bringing it all together. What would be unique about your offering, I guess, in terms of that manufacturing? What's it going to overcome?
Yeah, in terms of concurrency on that, yeah, perhaps it's big. It's okay. We don't speak about but as big as the concurrence, as big are the opportunities. So it doesn't matter. It's about your product, what you are delivering, and concurrency. Yeah, it's good, but it doesn't matter. For instance, when you start a company, like we start our company, if you look, there is plenty of self-employed guys and companies who provide that.
Yeah.
And so what? Make your company.
I think, as you say, I think if you can have a trusted team where you get continuity from that team, then that's obviously a lot better than an unknown resource that people can just tap into the subcontract market and the self-employed market. They can actually say, yeah, we've got a company bringing these people all together, the safety checks, the qualifications, it boils down to something to trust into and potentially have recourse from if things don't go so well, that it's being managed in a certain way. And other than a gas safety kind of certificate model of just going, well, there's an industry standard, this is, yeah, but we also have our own expectations of delivery and our own standards that we won't drop below. So for engineers to be engaged with your business, they need to meet a certain standard, and that's almost a saleable asset to the end client, I guess.
Yes, it's the mainly important thing is to have a attitude to understand that we are not working for we are working to get paid. And we working to get paid, and everyone to get paid to succeed. So our success is the client success. It's mainly like that.
Well, if you could put your finger on one barrier that has either reared its head or you are aware of that may become a barrier in terms of your growth as a business, what would that be?
Good question regarding that. Maybe might be the kind of crisis which will not be involved the more construction projects. So like we have a stagnation, or I don't know, or investors don't want to invest or something like that. But the way how I'm thinking, if it's not that, you have if it's a kind of crisis like within militaries or energy crisis, the government will gonna look to secure other new projects in energy. So anyway, someone will have to build nuclear plants, small ones, as Rolls-Royce has some projects, and they want to build like a small plants nearby the big city to avoid any blackouts and all of that. And then again, there is a need for ventilation there. So it's like the challenge might be do not have enough health. Or
the amazing thing with a lot of these is challenge or opportunity is actually just a perspective.
Yes.
Just how you see different things. There's a very good story of the two shoe salespeople who fly all the way from the States over to Africa on a humanitarian mission, and they each get sent to two different villages, and in each of the villages there's about 10,000 people. And in these 10,000 people, the first person checks in with the office and he says, "What a waste of time. I've been on a flight for 14 hours. I've arrived. I've had 3 hours in a Land Rover. I've finally arrived at this village. And there's not a single person of the 10,000 people in this village that have a pair of shoes. Waste of time." The other person phones in 5 minutes later and says, "What an opportunity. Thank you for sending me here. We've got 10,000 prospect customers and none of them currently own a pair of shoes." So it's just perspective. It's the same thing, same story, same circumstance. It's just how you do it. And I think that's a fantastic thing for all of these things that fall out of your circle of control. They're actually opportunities that will come out of that, as you say, increase in spend in terms of energy and new and renewable sources. It all needs ventilation, and if it's not a coal-fired power station, it's a different type of power station or whatever. It really does show that there is a massive opportunity for people to make significant gains into that market. So brilliant. Well, that's bringing us towards the end of the interview. Really would like to thank you, Vasili, for sharing that. I think there's a lot going on in the industry. A lot that could be perceived to be, oh well, woe is me, and this is happening and this is happening and whatever. Actually, you're looking at the positives and going, we're a growing company and that's going to continue. It's all about having that right mindset. So thank you for joining us. I hope you found that beneficial as well.
Yes, I did.
Fantastic. Excellent. And also a special thank you for everyone who's going to watch this. And if you've got projects ongoing, if they're in the engineering on the HVAC or mechanical engineering side, and you need a business to help you with that, then VIS is well positioned to make that happen. So thank you for all watching. If you're interested in doing your own showcase interview for your own business, just get in touch. We'll book you in. I don't bite, and I'll make sure that we take you through the process of promoting your business to a wider audience. So thank you again. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank you.